Do you guys want to go fly? She just needs a little cleanup. Now, there's no doubt about that. Everybody's got some pretty prickly heads. In this video, I wanted to share with you an extreme flight that Jazz and Breeze took out of Young, Arizona. This was an amazing flight because the birds were flying. They were at a maximum altitude above the start of 926 feet, maximum speed of 45 miles an hour, and a lot of that time they were really bucking the wind. There was a total distance of 16.6 miles, and all of this happened in less than 40 minutes. It was a 37-minute flight that I logged with no landings. Woohoo! It's a good thing I don't care. You guys would give me a heart attack. Let's look at Marshall GPS. The video I'm going to show you is our Marshall GPS. This is a flight log from May 21st of this year. And this flight log shows you just how far and how fast the birds can go and have gone. It's really amazing data to be able to look at this. I'm gonna 10 times this so that we can blow through the video pretty quickly. It's a 25-minute or so flight. Maximum speed at this point in time is 35 miles an hour, and the maximum above start is 450 feet and climbing. These birds are climbing to some amazingly high altitudes like I have never seen before personally. So I was a bit astounded when we actually got the data. The area that we were in was very rural and very rugged, away from the little community area, and just wide open space. Also, it was fairly windy that day, and so the birds were up high. I'm not sure how windy it was at the height that they were at, but it was certainly windy on the ground. So far, without landing, 6.9 miles and moving with a speed of 40 miles an hour. Again, I think that has more to do with the wind that they were dealing with that day, because often we have seen these birds fly at 50 miles an hour. So far, I've not clocked them at more than 50 miles an hour. That's a pretty tremendous speed for a macaw, really for any bird. But the altitude that they are flying, or the altitude above our start. Now, this is a mountainous area, so we're at a higher altitude than we normally fly at, which is about sea level for us, or maybe 1,000 feet above sea level is our regular flight altitude. But these birds, their altitude above start is what's the key to this. Right now, 700 feet above start at the height of this flight. And they have stayed up in the sky this entire time. We are now almost 25 minutes into their flight, and they are still moving. They have gone 11.6 miles and still moving, and this is them finally starting to come back down. They're circling one more time, and I think what you'll see is they're going to make the turn here, and then you can see right now that height that they're at is pretty amazing. I'm going to turn this over to 3D mode also, so you'll be able to see this in 3D, because that's truly an interesting way to look at it. And in that, you'll see that they never touched ground. These birds have not landed in a tree. They have gone now over 15 miles to a height of 900 feet and a maximum speed of 45 miles an hour. So it's amazing to me. What you're seeing down here in the bottom is that ticking. That is the total distance from where I was. I actually went over to get closer on the road to see if I can see them in the sky. So I'm on the ground in my car. They're still up in the air. So we finally finished the flight. Maximum speed of 45 miles an hour. Maximum height above start, 900 feet, and a total distance of 16.6 miles. That should be astounding to you. It certainly is astounding to me. Just for fun, I'm going to pop this into 3D mode. I love that Marshall gives us the opportunity to be able to see this detail information. It's kind of loading through its process right now, and it'll give you all of that same data. Again, still loading in. But that's what the terrain looked like. So you can see we're up in the mountains, and we're in this valley. This is actually Young, Arizona, which is like in the middle of nowhere. There isn't another community, and to get to Young, Arizona, it's a dirt road in either direction, either coming in from the north or the south, but it is a long way from everywhere. You can see they are now just at 197 feet. Their speed is between 30 and, oh, they actually did, it looked like they hit about 50 miles an hour right there. And you can see they're climbing, climbing, climbing. As you watch the blue truck there that reaches down to the ground, that kind of gives you an idea of how high they are above the ground. So we're pretty at the base of the valley there, and so their height is from where we started from. So they could be popping along, skimming the ridge line of some of these mountains and hills. But it's pretty interesting and pretty neat to see this data. And of course, this is sped up here 8 times in the 3D mode where you're able to see. But you can see a lot of hill mountains, a lot of rural area, some scattered out farms and residences, and a very, very small township community. That's about the time when they were here that I started to get a little nervous because I absolutely cannot see them. Even with my best binoculars, I cannot see them. They are 500 feet up in the sky. They are a mile away and definitely impossible to see with the naked eye, and certainly very difficult to see. Now you can see here what's happening is that they're skimming the top of those mountains, so they don't have that big, it doesn't appear like they're as high as they are, but again, those are mountains, those are hills that they're above. But all of this time, this whole 25 minutes, these birds never land. So very, very strong birds, very capable in the sky. Who knows? There could have been a hawk up there. There could have been some kind of a chase going on. There is no way for us to know. So we trust our training. We trust the fact that we have given these birds absolutely the best food, the best nutrition, the best vet care, the best housing that we can provide for them, and then daily flying so they're able to really build the strength that they need, that strength and muscle tone that's so important. At some point here, you'll see them start to come down. What it is, I had driven out, right? I was looking for them myself. I wanted to see if I could get a visual on them. And so as I drive out, you'll see them kind of come down. You see the altitude start to drop down a little bit where they're looking, they're seeing me, and they're basically kind of cruising down and taking a peek and going, oh yeah, there's our person. But right now they are high up in the sky. 722 feet, 750 feet, up to 800 feet right in through this area. And they are enjoying themselves. They are out there for a flight. I think that's part of the reason why free flight is really not something we recommend for everybody. If you're faint of heart, this is not something you should attempt to do. When you set your birds off to go out for a flight, you have no control, really. I mean, you can suggest that they come back. You can train them to come back. There's lots of things that we do to prepare them to come back, but they are strong, they are smart, and they are capable. And that's what we want. We want those birds to be all of those things, at least personally for our family, that's what we want. And it just, when you give a bird the full value of their wings, then this is the type of flying you can expect. We are not strict A to 8 flyers. We really are dynamic, epic flyers is what we feel like our birds have come to be. There you can see the birds are kind of rolling down in. That's me on the roadway. They're coming down. They see me. They know that I'm home, and so that's where they come back down. You can see their speed now, and they have come. And actually you can see that we're at a negative above start. That's because I went lower in the valley to get down to pick them up. Anyway, really interesting stuff. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Come on! Good birds! Hi, babies! Hi! Yeah, they're working real hard to get back. You'll hear me often contact call the birds, whistling for them, just a way of keeping in communication with them all the time. Jazz and Breeze are the two strongest flyers that we have. And I think that that is due to the fact that we got them at very young ages. These birds were each 8 weeks old when we were able to get them, and so we were able to train them from the very, very beginning. That normal process of fledging and learning flight skills is so important to building strong birds. The other birds that we have are strong, but not as strong. And very soon, Piper will be joining these guys. As you can see, he's working through his fledgling process now. He's a good flighted bird, and he is about 15 weeks old in this video. And so he will become stronger and stronger. He's learning all kinds of great skills, and we're going to post some videos for you of his learning process of these flight skills as well very, very soon. Hope you enjoyed it.